So we got the jobs report for the month of January today. Not only did it blow past expectations, it actually doubled them. Over at the Federal Reserve, is this the time where they start viewing 3% inflation as the new 2%? The Dow and the S&P today closed at all-time record highs. Looks like there might be a magnet pulling towards 40,000 on the Dow and 5,000 on the S&P, with the Nasdaq not far behind. It looks like mortgage rates and interest rates in general today, the only ones that did not take well to this blowout jobs report. Welcome back to This Week in Mortgage, everyone. I'm Sam Battaglia at Mortgage Black in Beverly Hills. Hope you had a great week. All right, jobs report for January. Wow. 353,000, just about doubled expectations. Wage growth ticked up a hair. And we also got revised numbers upwards for the months of November and December. Unemployment did hold steady at around 3.7%. And earlier this week, we got the job openings number, the JOLTS number, slightly over 9 million jobs available when they were expecting 8.75 million. Given the 500 basis points or so that the Federal Reserve has raised in the last couple years, it really is indeed amazing that we've managed to sustain this economy, continue to grow it, and continue to create jobs. Moving on to the Federal Reserve and their view on inflation. So, 2% inflation might not be realistic anymore given the economy hasn't stalled out and went backwards. So my question is 3% now going to be viewed as the new 2% as an acceptable level for inflation over at the Federal Reserve? A few things. The U.S. economy is indeed post-pandemic the strongest in the world. Jobs are still readily available. And again, they raised 500 basis points and the floor didn't fall out from the economy. I think this 3% might be viewed as the new 2%. And if they ever said anything according to that, you'll probably see the Dow Jones hit 50,000 for that matter. Little tongue-in-cheek there. Stock market today. Dow and the S&P, record close. It looks like there is indeed a magnet pulling the Dow towards 40,000 and the S&P towards 5,000. At the pace it's going at, by next week's show that I do, we might be talking about those numbers. The Nasdaq seems like it's a little bit of a lagger right now, but if the other sectors outside of the Magnificent Seven catch up, we are going to see over 16,000 shortly, which would end up with a new record close, and the stock market's absolutely crushing it to start the year. And here's the wet blanket of the day, interest rates and the 10-year Treasury in general. So earlier this week, the Fed did meet this week. It was a low-key meeting. Nobody really expected anything, but there was some commentary. And yields fell a little bit further below 4, revisited some earlier numbers from earlier in the year. But now today, with this blowout jobs number, we hop back above 4. Well, because of these jobs numbers, the chances of a rate cut in March have indeed gone down, I read somewhere today, to about 20% from about 38 to 40%. Interest rates actually may have baked too much into the cake, expecting the Federal Reserve to cut way more than they actually might, given that the economy has not fallen apart. As always, we will see how this shakes out. Okay, everybody, that is my show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, be a nice person, be a good neighbor, do unto others. Friday again somehow. Enjoy the weekend. Looks like a nice weekend out there. As always, thank you for your time.